In the next 35 years, the amount of people with hearing loss is expected to double to 73 million, and that's just people in the US. That's a lot of people, but that doesn't mean we have to live with it because we want to be able to hear our family and friends, and of course, watch our favorite Star Trek episodes and be able to hear every single word.
Absolutely. That's why hearing life is so important.
Oh, exactly. We have legendary actor William Shatner and hearing life audiologist Dr. Stephanie Rose here to chat more. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having us.
Mr. Shatner, you're around
Yes.
movie sets, lots of noise, fans conventions. Was there a particular instance where you said, I'm having difficulty hearing and I need to
Well,
get this checked
well,
out?
there was um, on the set of Star Trek. Actually, there was an explosion that was supposed to be mild, and it was much louder than they expected, and it affected my hearing in that I have tinnitus. And I spent, when I realized I had it, I spent about a year going around to different companies trying to find out how I could get rid of it because it was driving me insane. And I don't use those words lightly. And realized there's no cure for tinnitus, and you have to habituate is the word.
Mhm.
But I did a lot of research into hearing, and sounds play such an important role in our lives. After the age of 60, your hearing declines, and you got to be aware of that, and your eyesight as well.
Or even before that, if you're struggling in conversation, you're saying, how, what, come again, a little more than normal,
What'd you say?
TV volume's up too loud. If you're having any of those symptoms, I highly encourage you go to hearinglife.com and book a courtesy hearing assessment. We know that untreated hearing loss does raise your risk of dementia, so it's important to get that addressed early.
As far as, sometimes people think about their grandparents and you just think it's a natural form of aging to lose your hearing. But what age do you suggest, Dr. Stephanie, as far as someone going to get this regularly checked out?
So, the general consensus is check your ears by 60 years. I personally had my first sudden hearing loss when I was 26. So hearing loss can happen to anybody at any age. So if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time telling where sounds are coming from, which was my case, or if you're having ringing in the ears, these can all be symptoms that you need to just go get it checked.
Mr. Shatner, you're also going to be picking a winner here to win a free hearing aid. Tell me a little bit about that contest.
Well, that's a really interesting part of this campaign. Hearing Life is running a give back campaign, and we'll be giving away free hearing aids to people in financial need who are struggling with hearing loss and can't afford them. All you have to do is go to hearinglife.com forward
Forward slash.
slash give back, hearinglife.com / give back, and submit your story or nominate someone and their story, and there's a good chance you'll get a free hearing aid.
Yeah, so definitely tell us how hearing loss is impacting you or your loved one and how hearing aids might benefit and significantly, better your life. And I encourage anyone who is having a hard time obtaining hearing help to please apply. And then if you're just wanting to know where you're at and need a baseline, go to hearinglife.com. We have an online hearing screening there.
Dr. Stephanie, I want to ask you, as
I'm a
far as,
company man.
just as an example, Taylor Swift is on this huge tour right now. A lot of fans are excited. People, it's going to be a loud music. Fans are going to be screaming at the lyrics at the top of their lungs. You're going to be doing it as well, too. How does something like a concert affect someone's hearing, especially, maybe in the long run?
Absolutely. So noise exposure or noise-induced hearing loss is basically has to do with two factors. One is the length of time you're around the noise, and then also the level of the noise. So if you're feeling like you need to move back or cover your ears, that's your body's way of telling you need to put in earplugs. So wear hearing protection. You can also see a hearing care professional for custom concert ear molds so that you can still hear the music and enjoy and hear conversation, but at a safe level.
Because those loud sounds will kill your cilia.
Yes, you can have temporary threshold shifts over time, and then they become permanent. So permanent hearing loss can result from repeated noise exposure.
And Mr. Shatner, You Can Call Me Bill, the new documentary that we were just talking about, the fans were involved. You have been offered this, plenty of times, but this was, maybe the right time to go with Alexander Philippi. Tell me why this was the right time, sharing your story and having the fans involved in this film.
Well, I've been asked to do a documentary on me for a long time. but this wonderful director was behind it, and I thought it'd be a good idea. And so there's a documentary called Call Me Bill, and it's gotten incredible reviews, and it's out there ready to be bought.
What was it like for you, especially being able to share your life at growing up, Star Trek days, going to space, and kind of putting everything into words, into a
Well,
nice
it isn't your ordinary documentary of progression of your life. It's a more interesting, complex story that is being told. So it's something you've got to see to appreciate. Call Me Bill.
There you go. Wonderful. And then Dr. Stephanie, before we go here, really quickly, something for our younger fans and some of the people who are maybe in their teens or in their 20s who are going
That's
to
a good
nightclubs,
question.
listening to loud music with their headphones.
Yes.
Something they can do now to protect their hearing, once they get to the age of 60.
Absolutely. Some of the best advice I ever received was from my first sign language teacher when I was 17. And it's anytime you're enjoying music, make sure you're turning it down to the point where you're still enjoying and then a little bit less. That'll help to protect your hearing over time.
Wonderful. Hearinglife.com is where you can go ahead and find more information. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.